Black Ops 6 might end up being censored or even totally banned in some countries. And this wouldn't be the first time, whether it be movies, music, TV shows, or in this case, video games. There are games out there, such as Medal of Honor and past games in this franchise, Call of Duty, that have been banned in places. Black Ops 2 was banned in Pakistan. World at War was banned in Germany. So to hear BO6 could end up being censored or banned in some countries doesn't really surprise me, knowing what the Black Ops games entail compared to Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare series or Sledgehammer's, well, random series, whether it be a World War II game or something like Advanced Warfare. I would say the Black Ops games are a lot more edgy, based more around government secrets and classified documents, information that perhaps certain governments wouldn't want people to know about, whereas the Modern Warfare games are just based on Modern Warfare. World War II is pretty common knowledge, and futuristic ones such as Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare haven't happened yet. Even the couple of futuristic Black Ops games that we've had, BO3 and 4, but ones such as Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 6, which had taken place during the Gulf War in the 90s, contain a lot of real life stuff that did happen that perhaps we didn't know about. Unless you're really into that stuff and look into it, then maybe you weren't aware of Operation Paperclip or Operation Northwoods, which was a proposed false flag operation in the 1960s, originated within the US Department of Defense, which called for CIA operatives to both stage and commit acts of terrorism against American military and civilian targets, and then blame them on the Cuban government, and that justification would be used to start a war against them. The possibilities detailed in that document included the remote control of a civilian aircraft, which would be secretly repainted as a US Air Force plane, and then a fabricated shootdown of it off the coast of Cuba, the possible assassination of Cuban immigrants, sinking boats of Cuban refugees off the high sea, blowing up a US ship and orchestrating terrorism in US cities. All of this was proposed, but luckily rejected by the president at the time, JFK. So it's real life stuff like this that the Black Ops series touches upon, which makes it, for me, not only the best, but the most interesting. But that's also part of the reason why, 1, Black Ops 2 was banned in Pakistan. Well, that's not the exact same reason, but I'll tell you why in just a second. And also why Black Ops 6 could end up being at least censored in some countries. So anyway, as you would expect, a lot of people since the reveal of BO6 have been talking about this on Twitter, YouTube, the internet, some quite big leakers as well. I don't know whether they have inside information or not. I've been seeing some pretty crazy stuff with what they've been coming out with, but someone by the name of Crashdy said BO6 is going to be censored and banned for some countries. He then put out another tweet saying the Black Ops 6 campaign is going to be on another level. I think that's what he was supposed to say, and someone replied, "Is it that controversial?" And he replied back with the dead emoji. I also saw someone else say the 9/11 mission will be shown in the reveal trailer. I'm a little bit skeptical about this. I don't know who this guy is, if he's a leaker or just some random person. Personally, I don't believe the whole 9/11 thing in Black Ops 6 in terms of us actually being able to play out that mission. We might hear about it, I think that's very likely. I think it could be touched on in a cutscene, but Treyarch going as far as to actually let us play out a mission, either being on the plane that crashes into the buildings or being a spectator from the outside, perhaps just standing on the street, similar to that one mission in, I think it was Modern Warfare 3, where you're just walking down the road in London with your child and then the explosion happens. That one was very controversial and wasn't even based off a real life event. So if you can imagine Treyarch even daring to put any sort of 9/11 mission within Black Ops 6, then I can see it being extremely controversial. But as far as it being mentioned, which I think they will do, I can't see too many problems with that unless they go down the conspiracy theory route. And by the way, just in case you're wondering where the hell all of this comes from, I'm pretty sure the rumour started where in one of the BO6 teasers you can see the date 2001. So if this is all of the evidence that we have for that, I think it's a pretty big stretch, especially when it comes to us being able to play that as an actual mission. I don't know anything, but I'm 99.999% sure that's not going to happen. However, it may be relevant because this game is going to revolve around the Gulf War in the 90s, which led to the invasion of Iraq, but it could also, like Black Ops 2, touch on wars and events in the near future as well. So something like 9/11 would be about 10 years after, which then resulted on the war on terrorism and especially Afghanistan. But will it end up being that controversial that BO6 is going to end up being censored and banned in some countries? Now, if they do end up touching on 9/11, the only country that would possibly censor or ban that really is America, and considering that's Call of Duty's main market, Activision and Treyarch would have done their due diligence here and would know beforehand if they did end up going down this route, if there was a possibility that it was going to be banned or censored in America, then they just wouldn't do it because that would be a huge loss to them monetary wise. Other than that, doing a 9/11 mission, I can't think of any other country that would want to ban or censor the game. And what we've seen so far from the marketing, it really does look like this game is going to be based around exposing the lies of the American government, not really any other country, perhaps maybe France, the UK, some others in Europe. But for me, that's not really a reason for it to be banned. Censored is a different question, or especially at one time it was, because if you take your minds back to 2008, well, World at War was originally banned in Germany. The reason for that was because all of the Nazi symbols that were shown in it and the violence. Treyarch did eventually release a censored version of the game, and that was able to release in Germany, but what they had to do was remove all of the Nazi symbols, remove blood splatters, reduce any amount of blood that was shown from bayonet attacks. If you killed an enemy, that couldn't cause a blood splatter on the wall or blood stains on the floor. If you shot enemies that were already dead, any blood effects coming from them had to be reduced. Body parts couldn't be separated. Enemies weren't allowed to be set on fire. There was a cutscene in World at War which showed an American soldier shooting a Japanese soldier, in which he then said, "You like that, you piece of shit?" That was cut. There was a mission showing German soldiers shooting wounded Russian soldiers. That was edited. And the big one you might be surprised to know is zombies was cut from the game altogether. You can imagine a lot of these features, such as the Nazi symbols and body parts, is a big part of zombies. You can shoot off zombies' limbs, you can set them on fire using the flamethrower or Molotovs, and well, the whole point was Nazi zombies, so that mode was removed completely from World at War, even on the censored version. And as I mentioned earlier, Black Ops 2 was also banned in Pakistan due to its portrayal of the country as a failed state where terrorist organizations openly operated. So that was the reason why they banned Black Ops 2. But apart from that, I can't think of any others. It is interesting that it was both Treyarch's games, World at War and BO2, that have been censored or banned in the past. But since then we've had Black Ops 1, which was fine, Black Ops 3, 4, Cold War. Personally, I don't think there's been a game on the level of Black Ops 1 when it comes to controversy. I actually don't think the Black Ops series is that controversial, but could BO6 truly be on a level where it will be banned or censored? Personally, I don't think so. I just can't see Activision or Treyarch taking that risk. Maybe in countries where they won't really be taking a hit on sales, but America, Europe are their big players. I would imagine whatever information we're going to be told in this game could put those countries in a bad light, but I still can't see it being banned or really censored. But apparently, according to leakers and rumours that are going around, there's a good chance it will be. The only exception I could see is the conspiracies it might touch on, the main one being the 9/11 conspiracies. Was it actually brought down by the planes, or was it brought down by explosives from the ground? And what about Building 7? If it does end up painting America or other countries in a bad light, then who knows? But at the end of the day, it's still a game. I can't see it happening, but at the same time it wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.